know like a lot of my musical influences came from that era because music was at such a like popular music was at its beginning stages, and there were people who were innovating at that time, and their innovation meant a lot more then than it probably would now. Because everybody thinks they're different now. Everyone's like doing everything, but at a certain time where it was very hard to get on those stages, the people who decided to be bold and be themselves and just shift the culture the way that they did, just by being genuine and being themselves times two, like I had to respect that. And it's crazy. They all had intentions set. Like there was a point where Jimi Hendrix decided, well, I don't know what day it was, but he decided that he was going to be Jimi Hendrix. Like it was James Marshall Hendrix or whatever. It's like working in the flight troopers and all that whatnot.
Let me ask you about your recent project.
Yeah.
John Lennon. All right, jeans. Yeah. Like I'm John Lennon.
Yeah, speaking of.
Talk to me, man. What's the inspiration behind that?
Like John Lennon.
Yeah.
His philosophy and his personality and his demeanor and his charisma, like outshine the music. And the thing is that the Beatles' music was already at like such a high caliber.
1969 again.
Come on, man. I told you I was born in the wrong year, man. I told you. So their music was already on a high caliber. For him to like, for him to derive from that and to stand out above what the world was telling him that he should be or could be, he was a rebel. He was a rebel thinker. Same with Bob Marley, same with Jimi Hendrix, same with Kid Cudi, same with me. There's a lot of norms and trends that people grow so accustomed to that they forget how to think for themselves and feel for themselves. They wait on somebody else to tell them what they should and should be feeling and that they should be doing what they want. And some people don't even think about that. They're just trying to get a check real quick.
There's a phrase, there's a line you use. If it's not authentic, don't approach me with it.
Don't approach me with it. Like, honestly, like that, I think that song, John Lennon, y'all gotta check that out, by the way. Y'all check that out.
Yeah, most definitely.
Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music. Google me.
Yeah,
Google
go ahead. Talk.
You ain't gonna get that many results
yet.
Yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead. We in California. Talk, man.
But yeah, that song definitely, I put that one out over a lot of other songs because it definitely summed up, like, I could listen to it at any point in any mood and it would be true. Like, I could be depressed, I could be feeling really great, I could be really confused, but when I hear that one, it's like, it ain't no question about it.
I was listening to it all night today.
Bar
I'm the one John Lennon.
Bar for bar. I ain't lying to you on that one. Like, and there's a certain amount of confidence, there's a vulnerability in it.
You could sense you free.
Yeah, exactly.
In the water, tranquility, like you was in the water.
And it's weird, I'm not like the biggest horoscope person, but a woman pointed out to me, she's like, oh, you're all water signs. Like you're Pisces, Scorpio moon, Scorpio rising.
I'm a Scorpio, I'm a water sign.
Hey, I'm flowing right now, man. Where we at? We're right here next to the ocean.
Bro,
this is where John Lennon was filmed.
What am I eating? I know what you're eating. What am I eating?
You eating some salmon and grits, man. That's
No.
the way to do it, I think.
That's not salmon.
Oh, I think you got the mashed potatoes with the that exclusive gravy. That looks like they got a different sauce in that one, man.
You gotta eat, man.
My plate looking Cajun in a mug, and I love it. This is the closest I can get to Louisiana right now, y'all.
I'm doing my drilling.
Speaking of authenticity, there was a whole prelude to Jacq Maliq that some people who listen to my music now don't even know about. I used to go by the name Solo.
Solo?
Yeah.
Why you change it to?
So, when I first started taking music seriously, I was in college. This is while I was at CSUN, still doing my film stuff, but I would go to these open mics, like twice a week. I've always been writing, I've always been doing the talent shows, so this was just something I would do for fun. I go to these open mics, and then a hip hop club came about. Join that, so I'm doing open mics in the hip hop club now. Then after doing those enough, the retail store that I was working at, they had an event. And I was like, can I perform at it? I performed at it, people loved it. So now anytime there was an event, I would just like ask if I could plug up my guitar and like throw it down. All the while, I'm using the college campus recording studio to just do, like I didn't have that much technical experience to be doing that, but I knew how shit worked to where, excuse my language, I knew how stuff worked to where I could.
You could cuss on the Griot Talk. You could cuss on the Griot Talk.
All right, well, shit then. What I noticed is like I didn't have the technical experience to like operate the details of it, but I knew how to lay my voice down. I knew how to put a beat on there. I'm an artist, so I just knew how to manipulate it to make it sound the way I wanted to. I would go in the studio on campus, record some stuff, and then after a while doing these open mics, doing these events, going around campus, putting these songs out on SoundCloud, damn near the same day I record them, I was like, you know what? I'm solo. And that was derived from Kid Cudi. Because I feel like Man on the Moon caught me at a time in life where I was mad lonely, mad
depressed.
The emotional. I wouldn't even call it depressed yet. Like it was a premature form of it. Like it definitely was looking back, but in that moment it didn't feel like that. I just felt like like something's missing. Like I feel misunderstood, and then hip hop wasn't answering the questions for me that I needed. It was like very machismo, and like everyone was afraid to be vulnerable, and it's very materialistic.
What year was it?
This is 2008.
Oh yeah, that's the that was the era.
Yeah, it's 2008.
In the 2000,
yeah,
it was not okay to be smart.
No, it wasn't okay to be smart. It wasn't okay to express your emotions, like or vulnerabilities. It wasn't okay to like. It was barely okay to even like sing like that. Like the way singing is damn near hip hop now. Like wasn't nobody singing like every track was a melody. I mean, you got a couple of those in 2008, but like Kid Cudi really picked up because it was hip hop, it was vulnerable, and it was melodic. And at that time, those were all of the elements that I needed to just like find something to grip onto, and I ended up finding a lot of comfort in that music. So, and then that's when Kanye West started putting out like 808s and Heartbreak. So he's a little bit more like emotional and melodic, and then that's when 808s started becoming popular too. So I'm just listening to like that type of music, and after leaving high school and having that as the foundation of my like, my emotional being, it felt natural to me once I listened to my music and the topics that I was talking about and the people I was relating to. I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure if Cudi heard this right now, he fuck with it, like at some point when I was making the music. So I'm like, let me go by Solo, because he has a song, Mr. Solo Dolo. And listen, I don't have nobody, like, this is a bunch of little lines on that entire album that like really spoke to me. So I went by Solo, but I spelled it different. It was instead of S-O-L-O, like a loner, it was S-O-U-L. Soul and E-A-U-X. Oh, like water in French. So I went by Solo, like soul water. But I'm still this like a loner guy that's like, I kind of want to be alone.
Antonio, you beating
like you. Yeah, exactly. So I thrived under that name for a minute. Like, I mean, after like a year or two of just like being consistent, like no expectations, just having fun with what I'm doing, like opportunities started opening up. And then it got to a point to where I decided like, yo, I called my dad and I was like, I don't know if this college thing is for me right now. Like I was 3 years in. I don't know if this college thing is for me. And this is my dad, the musician, but I was still scared to tell him like I don't know. I was the first one to go. I'm like, I don't know if this is for me.
And that's when you gonna become.
That's when it really started, you know.
That's when they call that the discovery.
Yeah, the
like you know who you are.
Mm-hmm. And I couldn't articulate it yet, and I didn't have the validation to really tell anybody that this is who I am. It was more like this is who I want to be, and that's who I want to become. So I let them know like I don't want to go to school anymore, and I want to like really put my energy toward this music, because I really saw how like I saw the time and dedication that it took to excel in the academic area, and it wasn't that I wasn't doing that. It's just like I didn't want to do that. Like I was doing well, like I was doing very well in school. So it was like, yo, like. I just know how much energy it's going to take. It's going to take even more energy as you elevate. And I don't know if I have the passion for even film or college to keep doing that. So I told him, and he was full support. And it shocked me.
Your dad?
He was in full support. Not of me leaving school, but of me following what I felt was best for me. So that happens. And then sure enough, everything's nice and well. But you know, bills start coming up now, and now I don't got no grant money because I'm not going to school anymore. So I'll go and get a job.
That's tough right there. When you go after your dream and then you don't have a job.
Yeah, it was tough, man. And I was young. I was like about like 20, 21, like still figuring out what I want to do with my whole life, and I'm like, dang, that's a lot to figure out for right now. I barely got my life started. I got to figure out what I want to do for the rest of it. But I knew what I loved, and I always knew what I loved to do. I always knew what I loved to do. So I was like, once I went broke, decided that I couldn't support myself with just this job without financial aid or anything. I was like, all right, I think it's time, man. I think it's time to move back home. So I shaved my eyebrows off. I shaved my dreads off.
Change.
Complete. I went to Malibu one last night. Enjoyed the sunset. Listened to Swimming by Mac Miller. Went back home the next day, and then went back to where I was staying in the valley the next day, and we were late on rent, all type of stuff. And then eventually moved back home. And when I moved home, I had no intention of like making music for some time. I was like, I need to get my mind right. I need to get stuff together. Give me 6 months before I start, like taking it serious again. I miss my family. I've been gone for like 3 years. I miss my family and stuff. So I go there, and just me being the natural musician that I am, I started making songs just like on GarageBand. I'm writing every day. Like, just so busy because when I came back I wasn't working. So I'm writing every day, and like at GarageBand, I start recording at the house. And then before even 2 months passes, I'm like, okay, 6 months I ain't gonna make no music. I'm gonna save my money. 2 months passes and I have a project already. After leaving home and everything, but I'm like, I'm not solo no more. Like, I feel like I've evolved. Like, I feel like I've changed in the same way that Breezy Lovejoy changed his name to Anderson .Paak, in the same way that K-Dot changed his name to Kendrick Lamar, and then like progressing that way. I'm like, you know what? It's time for solo. I'm Jacq Maliq.
To become.
Exactly, and Jacq Maliq is my name. Like, I changed the spelling a little bit.
That's who you are.
That's who I am.
That's who you are.
So I'm like, my music has always been who I am. So let me might as well like set that intention. And that's
because at this point of age, right, in this society, we need more people like you, right?
Thank you.
Because it's not okay for you to be yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Like this world, like the world telling you it's not okay to be.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
And then you tell them like, yo, I don't care what you guys throw at me. I am who I am. I'm stepping into it. So that's what I'm saying. Like to a lot of young men, like whatever job you're doing or not, keep doing it. Because going through that, that's when you're gonna realize that, hey, my next chance, I ain't gonna mess with that.
Yeah, exactly. And I realized that when I wasn't writing my own scripts, I was living out somebody else's. So here I am.
That's weird. That's tough.
What I was realizing is that when I wasn't writing my own script, I was living out somebody else's, their agenda and whatnot, like thinking it was just passive existence. Now my pride kicked in at that point because I'm like, what do I know enough about these people and their intentions and agendas to be a pawn in their chess game? Like, I'm a king. Like, I knew that much. So I'm not about to pawn myself in somebody else's agenda.
You know how to play chess?
Yeah, I do know how to play chess.
I don't know how to play chess. I need to learn that shit.
Everything is an allegory for everything, man. Like, I swear, me skating, me playing chess.
Well, I say I can't. I haven't put myself in position to learn it.
That part.
All right.
Because the moment I said the same thing, and the moment I said it the way you did, is when I learned how to do it.
No, because it's something I'm still. Because it's a work in progress now. It's something I'm still working on. I speak life into things.
Like, exactly. So instead of saying like, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I get to.
My worst. Thank you. My worst thing is, I'm a try.
If I drop my phone on the floor right now and try to pick it up,
when you go in to pick it up,
I can just look at it and try all I want. Trying ain't gonna do nothing. It's not until I go and pick it up.
See, that's what I'm saying. See, mindset, man.
Yeah.
Just that shift.
Those incremental changes.
It's just that shift alone is a behavior change. Once you change your behavior, you change everything else.
Yeah.
Same thing with money, same thing with everything else.
And then words are spells, and that's one of the things that I learned in the 4 agreements. Well, the agreement when he speaks about being impeccable with your word. It's because these.
Bro,
yes.
I have this friend who let me read this book for like 5 hours.
Can you name him?
I picked so much, I couldn't. I
name four of
can't.
them?
I can't.
All right, I'll name it for you. So there's the one I just said, be impeccable with your word, that I feel like you relate to most, because you know, like those words, like even the little things that we say to ourselves. Like for example, I would be like, oh, I'm stupid for that. I'm stupid. It's like there was a girl I was dating at the time. She's like, don't say that about yourself. Like you're not stupid. And like even that changed. It like boosted my self confidence enough to where like when somebody else called me that, I didn't take too much heed to it. When I'm sitting here calling myself this and calling myself stupid, blah blah blah, when someone else says it, my head receives it the same way. So just be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't take anything personally, and never make assumptions. And these are 4 things that I always got to get back to at some point. At some point.
Be impeccable with your words.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Don't take anything personally.
Don't take anything personal.
Always give your best.
Always give your best. No assumption. Never
make assumptions. And they elaborate on every aspect of those in the book. But those 4 things, like I feel like, are at least enough to keep me grounded, and it's something that I could turn back to when I feel like I'm lost in the sauce.
I feel like every man need routine check.
Yes, we do. Because for every person hacking at the leaves of evil, there's somebody hacking at the root. Behaviors, attitudes, all that good stuff, you can change those things all you want, but you're still gonna be the same person. It's not until you add principles, pillars.
Hey, I'm gonna call Cameron on the shot. Come on, bro, come take a shot with us.
We need
Cameron on the shot with us. Come on, man. Come on, Cameron. Come on, Cameron.
Come on, man.
Come on, Cameron.
There you go.
Come on, make the toast,
What do you
please.
say?
Make the toast. No, Cameron, make the toast. Oh, go ahead. You make the. Go ahead.
I'm not above you.
I'm not above you.
I'm not beneath
I'm not
you.
you.
But wait.
I'm right beside you.
I'm right with you. All right.
Hey, my dog Cameron in the building. Come on, man, say hi to the podcast.
Man.
That's the man right there.
Griot Talk,
Peace,
follow
man.
on all social media
Yes.
platforms. Jacq Maliq, follow on all social media platforms.
Peace, man.
Rubber Studios, Rubber Films, follow on all social
Yes,
media
sir.
platforms.
Both of them.
Peace, man. Peace, man.
And speaking of Cam and the 4 agreements, when I was filming Cam for the cleaning process video when I was in 11th grade, how old were you? You were a senior in high school, right? So about like 17, 18? He was a huge fan of Dizzy Wright and their whole crew. And my roommate actually featured as a producer. Like, that's a whole other story. We'll talk about that later. But Dizzy Wright put me on to the 4 agreements, and it was so over my head in 11th grade. But hearing that in a hip hop context, and then growing up and maturing as a human being and as a man, and then turning to those, and then having this reference of like Dizzy Wright from my high school, it just made it that much easier for me to soak in. So it's just crazy. Like, I'm not even sure if me knowing who Dizzy Wright was through Cam is what led to me reading that book. And that book led to a lot of changes in my life. And I don't know what led to Cam. And I don't know what led to Cam. And I don't know what led to this other than me getting here, but you know, it took a lot for me to get here. But all that just to say is I know for a fact the story, my journey, it didn't begin with me. And it's not going to end when I'm gone.
No, sir.
This journey is...
No, sir. Say that again.
This journey, or this story didn't begin with me, and it's not going to end when I'm gone.
1, 2, 3. Tap in.
Changes
Tap in. Legacy. Longevity.
Exactly.
That's why we here.
And the only thing constant is change right now. So I'm like, for me to be able to appreciate that, I'm not on this mission to get somewhere. Like that term, you made it.
Yeah.
Ask Tony Hawk if he made it. Ask
Like, who's a regular celebrity?
Ask LeBron if he made it.
Nah.
Like, these people are
Just a couple of years ago, this guy got called the N-word, right? So it's
when have we made it? Like, and that's one thing I love about skateboarding, because I'll go to the skate park and I'll see a 5-year-old little girl skating, and then like a 45-year-old man skating, and I'm like, dang, so that 45-year-old man don't feel like he made it, and neither does this little girl. So it's like we always on this mission, and once we get comfortable with that change, like that constant evolving of ourselves and our environments and our peers and loved ones, that's the destination. The journey itself
Let me-
right there, it's a dichotomy, but it's very true.
Let me say something about this, right?
Let's say it.
From where I came from,
Yeah.
from where I am today, and other people's eyes, I made it, right? Because third world country, I came to the States, and I went to school. I make something out of myself, so I made it.
Uh-oh. No accidents.
See that?
No accidents.
But,
That's the universe agreeing with you.
There you go.
There we go.
So now, people outside say you made it, but internal say, no, you're not happy. So you're not happy, bro. Like, you're going into that job, you don't like that job, you don't like that job. You don't like the people in there, you don't like the boss. So I know you're not happy.
I respect you for that too, because when the world's telling you, you do it.
So, bro, I'm gonna tell you today, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna tell you today, bro, for you to admit is to be happy. It's to do something that you love to do. Something that, like, at any time somebody wake you up to do, and then you just do it at any time.
The fact that I'm doing what I love to do right now, I will have the worst day in music ever.
You're still happy.
I'm happy as hell. I'm like, this is a good problem to have. It's like, oh man, we gotta fill out split sheets and figure out the pub and all this, and I gotta find a video. It's like, no, you don't gotta do none of that. You get to. You get to do that. Just changing that one little letter, like, made everything feel like an opportunity and a blessing. Because we here and we gone.
Because, bro, I'm telling you this right now, bro. I believe in energy. I believe there's something higher than myself. So, for me to be here with you today, it's no joke. It's no funny business. Like, I was meant to be here. That's why when I wake up every day, I pray.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was meant to be here. Because that 10 years ago, I need that 10 years ago to work.
Yeah, man.
For me to know, like, yo, if you keep going, you're going to make something out of it. 10 years taught me that. My life taught me that. So right here, to begin something new is like to be a fool almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
There's nothing new under the sun. You can't reinvent the wheel.
no, like to start something new, you have to be a fool. You know what I'm saying? You have to be a fool, bro. Like, cause that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, go after whatever you want in life.
Yeah.
I don't get outside telling you made it. No, keep going.
The dude that invented a table in this ditch is probably like the first person to eat some chicken was probably tripping like a mug. Like bro, you want to eat that right there?
You know what I'm saying? So, bro, I'm gonna tell you again, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man, thank you, man. Welcome to the, thank you for coming to the Griot Talk.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Can I drop a law of physics real quick?
Go ahead, man. Say your thing.
Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred, man. So, with what we have right here, what was here before we arrived, and what's gonna be here afterward, it's not ours to keep. It didn't come from us, but we are vessels of divine light. And for us to be here right now, maybe planting a seed for a tree, we have no idea yet. But for right now, in this moment, it's a nice, scrumptious fruit. Because I don't know if I'm gonna have tomorrow to see the rest of this tree. So yeah, it's like, no, I didn't make it. But every time I see people like supporting or enthusiastic about what I'm doing, I feel like I'm doing the world a favor by doing what I love. Because everybody that saluted me while I was going to college, like, bro, I'm a black man. You think my family wasn't excited me going to college? Like, bro, I thought I was doing the right thing. So I'm like, look, if y'all think I'm doing the right thing now, watch when I'm doing what I love. Just give me a little bit of time, and I promise you, like, when shit get hard, I'm gonna work harder. And then we all gonna be eating. Like, not even just on material things, but it's the energy that I'm able to provide. Like, the insight that I'm able to, the confidence that I have in myself. And music is like, I can dress like this and go to work. like this is
It's a dream, bro.
I can't complain. We're at the beach right now talking over like stuff that I thought was a mistake is what led to right now. It's not up to me to determine whether it's a mistake.
That's my job now.
Yeah. Hey, that's all I got. Just a little bit of physics, a little metaphysics.
Hey, man, thank you. Hey, bro, thank you again, man. It's a pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure for me to have you on the Griot Talk podcast.
Hey, man.
Bro, I cannot wait to have you again, bro.
Yeah, man, it's like we can keep going right now, brother. I appreciate you, dog. I met you in the past life, man. I got a little bit more left. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'll tap this out too.
What do you think?
Yeah, for the outro and that thing. All social media platforms, but you know the typical media. And the place.
Oh, aye.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
again,
spot.
hold on. Again,
Yeah.
again, bro, I want to thank you. Thank you again for coming to the Griot Talk. It was a
Thank you,
pleasure
man.
for me to have you, bro.
Pleasure's mine.
It was a great conversation. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I learned so much. Like
To
I
be
learned.
continued.
For real, I cannot wait. And again, man, it was it was nice for me to be in San Diego, California.
Beautiful place.
It's a dream come true.
Beautiful place.
And I want to thank the OB Search Lounge for letting us shoot in here.
Yes.
The
I was
food,
a little worried at
the
first.
food is fire.
Oh,
Drinks.
man. Speaking of.
Again, social media. I mean, if you wanna people to follow that new song, John Lennon. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know. Take your time, bro. Take your time. Take your time. Let the people know, man. I'm the new John Lennon.
Bust down on white linen.
There you go.
I'm the black John Lennon. Touchdown in the building.
Hey,
Tap dance on the ceiling.
hey,
On my competition.
hey.
I got this shrimp, y'all. I'm Jacq Maliq. John Lennon and streaming everywhere.
Thank you, my brother.
Spotify, all that good stuff. Love y'all, man. JACQMALIQ. I'm Jacq Maliq. There you go. That's all I needed. Check me on the shrimp.